If you're a Roman Catholic, you have to understand the Democrats hate you. Last night, attacks on Amy Coney Barrett, a federal judge who may very well be President Trump's nominee for the seat vacated by the death of Justice Ginsburg, began to be attacked by Reuters and Newsweek for being a Roman Catholic who attends a prayer group called People of Praise. Senator Ben Sasse went out and said these ugly smears against Judge Barrett are a combination of anti-Catholic bigotry and QAnon-level stupidity. People of Praise is basically a Bible study. And just like billions of Christians around the world, Judge Barrett reads the Bible, prays, and tries to serve her community. Senators should condemn this wacky McCarthyism. Good for Senator Sasse. I will have among my guests today Senators Cotton, Braun, Daines, and Mike Lee. At least two members of this group are on the Judiciary Committee. This will be 7 senators in 2 days on the Hugh Hewitt Show. And I'll be asking them as I ask you, 1-800-520-1234, should the Senate confirm the president's nominee before the election? Now, there are very troubling cases already coming out of Wisconsin and Pennsylvania where judges, in Pennsylvania's case, state judges, in Wisconsin's case, a federal judge, are messing around with the balloting already. The Wisconsin federal judges, the President Obama appointees, keep counting. Let them arrive. The ballots that are arriving after Election Day, just fine. And the same thing from the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. We need a full complement of judges on the of justices on the Supreme Court immediately. And if you don't think this isn't, and if you're a Catholic, I don't know how you can vote for a Democrat. They hate you. Democrats hate Catholic. Oh, they'll say Joe Biden's a Catholic. How that's possible? Look, they hate you. Just understand that. If you go to Mass every week, and many of us aren't, if you're over 60, you have a dispensation in my diocese, for example, and they don't want you really during the time of the virus going near Mass. Some churches are taking extraordinary measures and making sure that there are empty Masses for people who are 60 and older. But if you're a confession attending, Eucharist receiving, benediction crossing, if you're just one of us, they hate you. And they hate Amy Coney Barrett and Barbara Lagoa, who are Catholic. They'll hate Joan Larson. She's an evangelical. I don't know what Allison Rushing is. I don't believe she's Catholic. I don't know about Kate Todd. Those are the 5 on the president's short list. But it looks like it's going to be Amy Coney Barrett. I don't expect it to be anything else. But he may surprise us. The president does love surprises. 1-800-520-1234. Why do Democrats hate Catholics? It's pretty easy. Democrats love abortion rights. They think that that's their sacrament. I think Rush Limbaugh invented that years ago, and he was the first, and I want to give him credit for it. And they react poorly whenever they think someone may not be a big fan of abortion. But to attack someone's religion right out of the box before they're even the nominee, as Senator Sasse said, that is QAnon-level stupidity and anti-Catholic bigotry. So my question today is the same as it was yesterday. It's going to be the same question until it's over. Do you want the United States Senate to confirm the president's nominee before the election? President Trump was in Moon Township, Pennsylvania last night, and he brought up the job he has to do right now, which is to nominate cut number 24.
And now we're going to pick a great woman, any one of the 5 that I told you, but any one of the women that we had, they're all great people, great scholars, great, brilliant people. A lot of people. No, they're all great women. They're brilliant, great scholars. By the way, while I'm here, would anybody prefer that I pick a man? Is there any man that has the courage to raise your hand? There's one right there. I got one. We found one. No, we're going to pick an incredible woman, brilliant woman, and watch the abuse that she will take. Whoever, the decision's going to be announced on Saturday, 5 o'clock on Saturday, at the White House. And you see, we have tremendous Republican support. 2 people, always got to be 2. Always got to be the 2, those 2.
He was the audio and the video. I'll play them again later. You should watch them. Mitt Romney made his announcement yesterday, and this just crushed Democrats because I told you yesterday. I told you Governor Romney, and I call him governor because that's how I know him. He loves the Constitution. He knows how important this seat is. Governor Romney did what I expected him to do, cut number 5.
I think there's some perception on the part of some writers and others that, gee, what happened with Merrick Garland was unfair. I don't agree with that. I don't know whether you think it was a good decision or not, but it wasn't unfair because it was consistent with history. It was consistent with precedent. It was consistent with the Constitution. So the idea that the Merrick Garland decision was unfair and therefore it has to be made up by doing something which also wouldn't make a lot of sense, which is saying to President Trump, you can't get your nominee either, that just doesn't follow for me. The Garland decision was consistent with history. The decision to proceed with a new nominee is also consistent with history and precedent, and that's where I come out.
Amen. That's it. That's so simple. By the way, he added this, cut number 4.
Well, I think it's straightforward in terms of the qualifications you look for, which is someone who is an expert of the law, someone who has a record of fairness and judgment that you think is consistent with the law. I prefer choosing those folks who are, if you will, strict constructionists, meaning that they look at the law itself and the Constitution as opposed to sort of looking into the sky and pulling out ideas that they think may be more appropriate than either the law or the Constitution. So I recognize that we may have a court which has more of a conservative bent than it's had over the last few decades. But my liberal friends have, over many decades, gotten very used to the idea of having a liberal court. And that's not written in the stars. And I know that a lot of people are saying, gosh, we don't want that change. I understand the energy associated with that perspective. But it's also appropriate for a nation which is, if you will, center-right, to have a court which reflects center-right points of view, which, again, are not changing the law from what it states, but instead following the law and following the Constitution.
This is the Mitt Romney that I told you was going to come through. I've known him a long time. I just told you this was going to happen. Mike Pence in New Hampshire last night at a Trump-Pence rally, cut number 20.
Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg lived an inspiring life. She paved the way for women in the law. And America mourns the passing of a true public servant. The Constitution of the United States provides that the President shall appoint judges to the Supreme Court. And before the week is out, after we honor the life and memory of Justice Ginsburg, President Donald Trump will do just that.
So it is going to happen. Do you agree, Bill, in Pennsylvania, should the president move quickly and the Senate confirm before the election? Hello,
Yeah.
Bill.
Yeah, Bill, how you doing, you?
Great.
Yes, and let me tell you something. I drive truck. I see a lot of signs for Pence and Trump, 10-1 to Biden.
Well, I hope Pennsylvania goes 10-1 for Trump. Thank you, Bill. Richard in Atlanta, should the Senate move before the election to confirm President Trump's nominee?
Absolutely, they should. And I'm looking forward to the hearings because I think we're going to have, I hope we have another episode of voyeur Democrats fine-tooth combing through the meaning of another yearbook page.
You know, I don't know if they're that stupid, but thus far we've had 100 phone calls on this, 98-2 in favor of the Senate voting to confirm before the election. We'll keep taking your phone calls at 1-800-520-1234.